Anyway. Hey everybody, Jim Ellis here, the Unemployed Entrepreneur. Thanks again for visiting my channel, watching my videos. Hit subscribe, hit like, hit share. Oh, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can get all notifications. That's all. You want to do all. You don't want to do the other ones, because if you do the other ones, you won't get all my notifications. So hit all. Let me remind you that the unemployed part of Unemployed Entrepreneur is never permanent. We all have to work, right? Regardless of whether we're making money or not, we work, right? Right now what I'm doing is working. I'm working for you. I'm bringing hopefully quality content, stuff you like to hear about. If you don't like it, well then tell me and give me some ideas of what I can bring to you and make your day. And you'd make my day because I'd love to do something for you. I am on day 8. And again, I am waffling, but I'm going to stick with it, I think. My last video on Thursday, I told you that we would be moving into probably the praise and worship side of things, because Petra Power Praise probably started moving me in that direction to a certain degree. But there's another album or two, another group in particular that I really want to talk about, but I'm probably going to make that a bonus. Probably make that a bonus video someday in the near, this is number 7, so I got 8, 9, and 10, maybe number 11. Maybe I'll give you a bonus check or a bonus video at number 11. You never know. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into, let's see, Petra Power Praise came out in 1993. I'm not sure that I was actually listening to it in 1993. I think it took me a while to actually latch onto that puppy. But in 1995, I want to say it was 1995. Pretty sure I did my proper research on that. A gentleman by the name of Ron Kenoly. By this time, it already had several hits, one in particular called Jesus is Alive. That was in 93, I believe. And if you don't know Jesus is Alive, I mean, that song, he says the song, he wrote the song in like 5 minutes. And when you learn the song, you learn it as just a chorus, basically. It's like a Hosanna Integrity chorus. Hallelujah, Jesus is alive. Death has lost its victory and the grave has been denied. Jesus lives forever. He's alive. He's alive. Start over. Hallelujah, Jesus is alive. Death has lost its victory. I can't remember. I think there are different words second time through. Jesus lives forever. He's alive. He's alive. Probably could be playing that. It's been years since I played it. The piano's over there. I'm probably going to skip it for now because there's so much to say here. But the thing is, he actually records it later in another disc, which I haven't been able to find. I haven't really looked for it yet because I'm just remembering it as I talk. And there's a whole huge verse that leads up into the chorus. And it's like if you only knew the chorus and then all of a sudden you found out about the verses, you're like, mind blow. Woo! It was truly an experience. And that's what Ron Kenoly's music did for me. It gave me an experience. And I wish I had, the only album cover I could find was this one. This is God is Able. I want to say this was after, I'll keep talking as I look, but I'm pretty sure this was after, no, it wasn't. It was before. This was before Sing Out with One Voice. Now, Ron Kenoly, Sing Out. I've got, well, actually, it's not. I was going to try to have the picture up and running for it. Well, there it is right there. I can't play it because
my dog thinks.
Hello, come on now. If I guess I'm just going to let that play because hang on, let me turn the video down, turn the audio down. Okay, when that goes away, you'll be able to see Ron Kenoly's face on there. The album Sing Out with One Voice. The interesting thing about this one is, it's still coming out of headphones. Isn't that great? Let me hit pause. So anyway, that's the album cover for Sing Out with One Voice. The interesting thing is, if you watch the video, now, first of all, you got to realize this album was recorded, performed and recorded in Lakeland, Florida at Carpenter's Home Church. Now, it took me, when I first heard about Carpenter's Home Church, I was like, what does that mean? And then I realized, oh yeah, Jesus was a carpenter. Okay, that's where they were going with it. Carl Strader just recently passed away. He was the pastor. And it's truly a sad story because, let's see, just in December of 18, we were in Florida and I was reintroduced to a friend that I've mentioned on here before a few videos back. And she and her husband were working with Stephen Strader, who is Carl's son, And they were literally like a mile and a half from where Carpenter's home church used to be. Only I didn't know that. We actually took a side street, ended up on Carpenter's Way, and drove by this big empty lot that looked like it had been grown over in the parking lot. And we had been told that the church had been torn down, and it didn't dawn on us until after we passed by. There's the fence post, there's the fence, big wrought iron fence that surrounded the property, parking lots there, and I'm going, what in the world is that all about? And then it dawned on me. That was Carpenter's home church. Huge piece of land, basically just grown over. Bare, but grown over. Parking lot, empty, just grass grown. Very, very sad. Because if you watch the video, which I will link to, I'm considering maybe, I don't know, it's a lot of work, but I can, snatch the video and put it on here for you. But I think it's more important to just talk about this, the way it affected me more than actually see the music. But if you have any desire at all, please, if I give, because I don't do it justice, and here's what I'm talking about. In fact, I couldn't find this section that's running through my brain. There's a section, first of all, the album is built or written around as a, and he announces it at the beginning of this, that tonight's service will be a partial reenactment of the dedication of the temple that Solomon built, which I'm sure was an amazing event. If you know anything about it, you know that the Spirit of God came down so mightily that the priests couldn't even do their duty. It was just, and this was a powerful recreation as well. And there is first of all, you start off with the song Sing Out With One Voice, which was written mostly, or at least co-written by one Paul Balash, who is in the back row to our far right of the 8 to 10 singers, one of which is Matthew Ward, who's on the other end. If you know either of these names, if you're into Christian music at all, worship music especially, you know these names. Matthew Ward was second chapter of Acts. Paul Balash is, well, Paul Balash. He wrote things like, "Open the eyes of my heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart." And Hosanna, Hosanna, you are the God who saves us. You're worthy of all our praises. And I'm sure there are a plethora of other songs that you, if you are a Christian and sing worship music, have sung that he has written, if not performed. But lots of little, details in there. Abraham Laborio is the bass player. Alex Acuna, I believe, is one of the drummers. I forget the name of the, unless he's the soprano saxophone. This could be a really long video, folks. I'm just telling you. In 1996, I went to my very first full-time worship pastor position in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and I had big lofty dreams. And when I saw Ron Kenoly and all this from 1995, I had even bigger lofty dreams. And we met a gal. Why are their names escaping me all of a sudden? I even have them in my phone. I know I do because I just saw them a few years back at Silver Dollar City. I'll remember it eventually. But he was a horn player, a teacher at a school there in Iowa, and his wife was a clarinet player. Now, one thing I didn't know, and I learned that year with her, is that the soprano saxophone, which if you'll watch God is Good in particular off of this CD, you will see, I believe it's Alex Acuna. I forget if that's, I think Alex Acuna is the drummer. Don't quote me on that. But the guy who plays the soprano saxophone walking down the aisle, he plays a soprano saxophone, and I asked this gal, hey, how close is the clarinet to the soprano side? And they look up. Turns out they're in the same key. She comes into a practice. I kid you not. This blew one of my first mind-blowing experiences as a worship pastor when it came to quality musicianship. She actually listened to the recording. She came to a rehearsal. She walked up to her spot on the platform. She threw down a manuscript book at her feet. Now, she's only like 5'2", I think. But still, threw it down at her feet. And here it is sitting on the floor at her feet. And she proceeds to take that clarinet and go, played it almost, if not verbatim, almost verbatim to how it is on the recording. Literally blew my mind. She was incredible. And I'm killing myself because I can't think of her name right now. But that was a wonderful, wonderful event. We actually did that song. Now, you gotta understand, this song was God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to me. It's just a simple chorus that came about in like the 60s, I think. Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember when it was written. But they didn't do just God. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. You get the point. And they first do it in English, then they do it in Spanish, then they do it in Dios está bon, Dios está bon, Dios está bon, pra mim. I don't know what language that is. They tell you when you sing it. Que bueno es, is that might be Spanish. Que bueno es, el Señor. That's Spanish. I'm not sure what the pra mim, I'm not sure what language that is. But you do those three languages, and then you've got these holds, these big, massive orchestrated holds with the, the clarinets going, and the trumpets, there's also on the video, please, if you can get a hold of the video. Like I said, I can't find this part on the internet, but I have the video actually on VHS tape somewhere, which I'm going to do my best to try to convert and keep on my hard drive, but I haven't done it yet. But there are people. Remember, I told you this building was torn down. So sad. There were horn players. I'm talking the horn players you see like in Renaissance time, where the horns were like 6 feet long and there's flags hanging off of them, and they don't have valves. They're just playing, so they can only play in like thirds and fifths. They're playing this, and they're changing chords, I'm just like, actually, I don't think they were changing, I don't know, whatever. They were making a transition into a song called Praise from Every Nation, if I remember correctly. And absolutely mind-boggling as a musician, because they're up there, a story or two above you. So if you're in the audience, you're looking up at them, and you of course, you're on the video, you're watching the video, so you're seeing it from all different angles. You've got people dancing down the aisles, and I'm not talking about just haphazardly dancing. I'm talking there was choreography of like from White Christmas. Everybody's doing choreography, and this was 1995. There's flags waving. Now 1995 is the year the Brownsville revival started, so it's not, I suppose, mind-boggling, so to speak, that this was all happening 25 years ago, but it was extremely charismatic, even for an Assembly of God church, in my opinion, back in 1995, for this to be going on. But like I said, there were dancers, there were horn players, there were flag wavers. They even had a song with the African Children's Choir. Oh Lord, be magnified, be magnified. Anyway, I could talk all day on this particular album probably, but one couple of things I would like to say about Ron Kenoly in particular is that he really didn't start becoming worship leader until he was in his early to mid 50s. Guess how old I am? Yeah, I'll be 53 in June, and who knows? It's that kind of thing that makes you kind of go, okay, God, maybe you still got plans for me. I don't know what he did before he was 53. I don't know if he'd been a worship leader for 20 years and slowly morphed into being a famous worship leader. I don't need to be famous. I like to make that joke that I don't need to be rich and famous. Rich and relatively unknown is perfectly fine with me. But again, he was in his early to mid 50s when he got his first notoriety with Jesus is Alive. I actually had the pleasure of meeting him at one point, singing with him when we were in Omaha. He came to the area, did a concert in a relatively small church, and we got, myself and my friend, the late Keith D. Gamblin Sr., got to sing in the choir. We had actually produced our own recording at that time, and we actually gave it to him. And sadly, when we gave him the recording, he went, these guys are, I get it. Stuff like that happens. But Ron Kenoly's a good guy, and had a lot of acclaim, and had a lot of influence on me as a worship leader, because it was those types of songs that I was just longing to do, something that was more than perfect example is the God is so good. God is so good is a great little chorus. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good to me. But I'm not gonna lie, it's boring if you just sing the song as it was originally written. Sorry to say, it's boring musically. But Ron Kenoly turned it in, and of course his team, Tom Brooks, the keyboard player, and Carl Albrecht, who is a Facebook friend of mine, though we've never met, is a Hosanna Integrity drummer. He's on that album. His wife is singing one step into the left of Paul Balash in the front row, and of those singers that I was telling you about. And, just all this plethora of people that were there, you know, for that, and now I've gone off to do other awesome things in the music department for God. Just been it was a huge influence on me. Now I'm not going to lie to you. I remember when I did this, and I apologize if anybody from Council Bluffs sees this. I don't mean any offense when I say this, but I know there were people in Council Bluffs 25 years ago when I did this, 24 years, 20 plus years ago when I did this, that, you know, did the whole thing like I was trying to, and I was told I was trying to be too ambitious. You know what? There's no such thing. There's no such thing as being too ambitious. And I'm going to go ahead and use that as a segue because this video is getting too long already. And I'm going to tell you, don't let anybody tell you you're being too ambitious. If you want to be something more than you are right now, don't just settle for for what you're doing or who you are if you know God's got something better for you. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you again for watching my videos. I hope you enjoy them. I hope they're exciting to you. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll like and share. And I hope you'll make comments and tell me if you like what I'm doing. And if you don't, tell me what you want me to do. I'd be happy to, you know, put out some content that you'd like to hear me. Maybe you want to hear me talk about a specific album or something. It may be something I've never heard of. I'll go listen to it for you and do a video for you if that's what you want. Just let me know. Again, guys, let me remind you that the unemployed part of unemployed entrepreneur is never permanent. So keep pushing for what God wants you to do. Love you guys. Thanks. Have a great day. Oh Lord, be magnified. Be magnified. Anyway.